The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Hello, this is Zack Sabre Jr., New Japan Cup winner 2018. And you're listening to Keepin It Strong Style with my mates. Enjoy.
Yo, this is Rich Latta from One Nation Radio. This is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network. We present to you the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Let's go. It's the Ace of Podcasts, Keepin It Strong Style. Covering New Japan, they ready to hold it down. Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Josh. Come and hit a job out in Barrio the Frogs. From the Tokyo Dome over to the G1. Social Suplex is the network where we can get it done. I'ma chill and let them have it, cause this is just an intro. Keeping the strong style, 6 stars from the get-go, boy. Yeah, from Tampa Bay to the Tokyo Dome, this is Keeping It Strong Style with your hosts, Jeremy Donovan and the young boy Joshua Smith. And thank you for listening.
Welcome to Keeping It Strong Style, the ace of podcasts on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Jeremy Donovan here with the young boy Josh Smith. On today's show, we'll be reviewing the first 2 nights of the World Tag League, as well as covering all the latest news in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can support our show by subscribing to the Social Suplex Podcast Network on the podcast app of your choice and leaving a rating and review. You can also get all the podcasts and columns at socialsuplex.com. Go to socialsuplex.com/subscribe to sign up to get the podcasts and all the columns delivered directly to your email inbox. All right, young boy, we got the World Tag League 2018 kicked off. First 2 nights this past weekend, man.
Absolutely. You can't see it right now, but I'm just shaking my head very, very tranquilo, very, very wise and knowingly. And I'm very, very much accepting of the situation because, ladies and gentlemen, I have found that you cannot control everything in your life, but you can control your water intake and your hydration. And the reason I'm just saying all this stuff is because I didn't have a good segue to come out of World Tag League. But no, actually, these first 2 nights that we're going to be reviewing and talking about, they've been good. Just like they were last year. I mean, you know, these guys are not stupid. They know when the cameras are rolling. They know how to work the hard cam pal. And, you know, they do usually typically put on good shows the first few nights, especially when it's a Cork and, you know, crowd. So,
yeah. So the first night happened on November 17th. And we had Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero on commentary. Don Callis had some travel issues and was flying to the arena in a jet.
Yeah.
Or a helicopter.
A helicopter.
Yeah.
What happened with Lanny Poffo?
I don't know. I guess, you know, they made the executive decision that, you know, his services are no longer needed.
Is it weird that I'm disappointed?
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes, like, dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I just love chaos, you know?
Yeah.
Not the stable, but
less, like, just chaos happening.
Like, actual chaos. And,
yes.
And like, Lanny is nothing if not, like, a chaotic, neutral character. Like, he's freaking... Yeah, I mean... Is it an embarrassment to New Japan Pro Wrestling? Absolutely. Does it, you know, make people probably, like, turn away from the product? They're like, what the fuck is this? Like, absolutely. But is it super entertaining to hear him, like, go on rants about Hulk Hogan and Tiger Mask and, you know, his fun fact? It absolutely is. So, like, I'm equal parts, like...
It's entertaining the first time or so, but after a while, it's like, okay.
No. At first, it's worse. It's like Napoleon Dynamite. The first time you watch it, it's terrible. And then you keep watching it.
It gets better and better every time. Tina, you fat lord.
That's freaking Lanny Poffo. Like, he's the Napoleon Dynamite of commentators. Like, he just, like, the awkwardness and all of that just gets worse and worse, and you can't, like, look away. Like, it's just a freaking accident. And it's funny we're devoting time to this, but, like, yeah, I thought he was gonna be on this tour, but hey, you, the listener, your voices have been heard.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if we have anything to do with this, like, you know, like Rocky. our good friend.
Good friend of the show, Rocky Romero.
He was listening and he was like, "Oh my God, I got to right my mistake."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I know I brought you onto the tour, but you know, you gots to go."
So the show kicked off with a non-tournament tag team match. Super strong team, Jeff Cobb and Michael Elgin taking on the young boy team of Yota Tsuji and Yuya Uemura.
The once blood enemies now have formed an unbreakable tag team combo. Uemura and Tsuji are like, bro, I freaking love them as a tag team. Like they got to get the gold. they need to like put gold on these guys because they're freaking awesome together. No, but in all honesty, I really enjoyed this match. The undercards, I mean, the whole show was good, but yeah, this particular match with Jeff Cobb and Michael Elgin, for whatever reason, just I really liked it. I like to see like Cobb and Elgin freaking tossing Tsuji around, like, you know, just hoss battle, and that's what I love.
Yeah, the hoss battle with those guys, and then, you know, you had Uemura in there kind of bringing the quickness and speed and trying to use his amateur wrestling background.
Yep. I just dug it. I really dug it, and it was interesting because I don't think we've had Uemura and Tsuji tag team before.
Yeah, they've been on multi-man tags.
No, but not as a single tag.
I don't think so.
Well, they got good chemistry. I mean, obviously we know that they're good, like, you know, combatants and you know, rivals, but man, they're a good tag team. Like,
yeah, usually when guys end up wrestling each other a bunch, they end up being like good tag team partners.
Yeah, so I mean, I really dug this. You know, obviously. Now let's talk about this. What do you think about? What's your opinion on the tag teams that are in the tournament having these off nights where they're still just in straight tag team matches against non-tournament tag teams?
It's kind of weird. Because, you know, usually, you know, like a G1 or Best of Super Juniors, the guys that are in the tournament, they're usually like in a multi-man match to kind of give them a break for the next night.
Right.
But essentially, they're just doing another tag team match here. Yes, it's against probably a quote-unquote lesser team, but, I mean, it's still some hard-hitting matches that they're in. So, I don't know. It's kind of a weird setup.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I'm not going to be overly critical and say that it's stupid or something like that,
right?
Because I guess it does serve a purpose.
And it's a quote unquote like a warm up match for the next night or whatever.
Well, I mean, they need to stop saying that because they're sleeping on my boys Uemura and Tsuji. They're gonna pick up a win, but no. I do think like there's a part of me though, the part of me that's like, man, you know, the tag league's gonna be a drudge to get through. So why are these guys in tag team matches that don't count? But then, I don't know, you think about the other thing too is like, well, maybe they could have it's a round robin if they're going to have these guys in tag matches anyways. Why didn't they throw in another tag team and just expand the block, you know?
Right.
And I'm not saying they should have gone that way. I'm just saying it is strange to me that they're having tag team matches outside of
the World Tag League.
Instead of having singles or you know, multi-man tags.
Like, hypothetically, what would happen if a non-tournament team pulled up an upset on a tournament team? Like, obviously, I know that's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen, but as a viewer watching this match, I'm like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, what happens if GOD... you know, gets beat by Tsuji. Actually, that's not even a good example because we know what would happen. They'd be entitled to a title shot. But like, what if the best friends get beat by Ren Narita and Tomoyoki Hanma?
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting thing to think about. I guess it's just one of those things that's not going to happen, so we're supposed to just ignore it.
Right. Like, never mind that.
Yeah.
We'll move along.
But it does seem like, I don't know, they've had a lot of success in the past doing the multi-mans as opposed to a tag team. I guess part of it probably could be because it's a single block, and it might change the structure of how they're booking the cards. I don't know.
Right, and there's only so many guys on the tour. There's only so many multi-man matches you can end up doing before you kind of use everybody up.
I guess, but at the same time, it's like we're only getting like so many televised undercards on this tour. So I mean, you could do multiples of the same match, and I mean, it's a touring structure. I mean, the fans in you know, Narita are not going to care.
Yeah.
You know, if they ran it in, you know, I don't know, Beppu or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very strange.
You're right.
But yeah, so let's move on. The second, but Jeff
Cobb got the win there, Tour of the Islands on Tsuji. Then we had Sabre and Taichi defeating Honma and Narita.
Before we move on, let's talk about that for a second. So obviously we know that Tomoyoki Hanma is not involved in the World Tag League. However, he's still on the tour and he's still in tag team matches against all the World Tag League competitors. And how does that make sense?
Well, on commentary, they said that the medical team that they have in New Japan has not cleared Honma to wrestle in this tournament. They don't think he was ready to have...
For that level of competition.
To have, those high quality matches in the tournament.
All right, let's think about this for a second. He's not ready for that level of competition.
But he's facing
all that competition in tag team matches. That doesn't make sense.
And it's kind of like a little weird because essentially what they're really trying to say is like Honma's not capable of having, a big match. And so it's like...
Without actually saying it.
You're right. So it's like, we're going to stick him in these undercard matches because they don't really matter and he can just kind of slide by.
It would make more sense to me, again, going back, to do multi-man matches. If you put him in a multi-man match and you say, hey, he's going to have less ring time and he's not ready to compete in these tag team matches, but we're going to do a multi-man, I'm all for that. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It's a good compromise. Mm-hmm. But then they're like, no, we're going to stick him with Narita and we're going to have them job out to all the guys that he's not medically cleared to wrestle. It's like, that makes no sense. He's not medically cleared to wrestle them, but he is wrestling them in tag team matches.
Right.
So it doesn't... you know what it reminds me of?
What?
Not to get too WWE on everybody, but like this past week, I don't know, did you hear Coach say about Nia Jax?
Oh, a punch actually landed, yeah.
He was like, she punched her and it actually landed. It's like, do they not all actually land? It's like, they're telling me that this dude's not medically cleared for this level of competition, but he is wrestling all that same competition? Like what are you telling me? Just
I haven't seen the rest of the tour schedule, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's not on the full tour. I'm not 100% sure. So
it seems like he is. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look either. But yeah, so Zack Sabre and Taichi defeated Hanma. This was our first look at Sabre and Taichi. I mean, what did you think of them as tag team?
I actually thought they kind of worked together really well, actually.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by how well they kind of gelled together.
There's a lot of situations in this tournament where I feel like people are going to turn around and like be like, you guys need to eat crow because this team works and this team works and this team works. And I'm going to kind of say to that, well, sure they do because it's New Japan and they're making stuff work, but I don't think that the team selections, I still want Suzuki and Zack Sabre.
Right.
But no, I agree. I thought that Zack Sabre and Taichi worked well together. And yeah, I mean, like, I think Taichi... It's weird sometimes with Suzuki-gun, because you do wonder how some of these guys fit together.
Right.
As far as a faction goes.
Yeah, it's like all of them, for the most part, kind of have like their own kind of like different personalities, move sets, and themes. And like they're pretty much like their own like individuals for the most part.
Yeah.
And then they like all come together, and it still somehow works.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought Zack Sabre and Taichi worked together well. I thought Jeff Cobb and Michael Elgin, they're looking great as well, and they're poised to have a good tournament, just like they did last year. But then we come to the third match of the night, and it was a 6-man tag, all-out war as Suzuki-gun implodes. We had Minoru Suzuki, Takashi Iizuka, and El Desperado taking on Lance Archer, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Yeah, so there's a lot of debate or questioning, what's going to happen when Suzuki-gun has to fight Suzuki-gun, and we found out they're gonna brawl with each other.
They say run it.
Yes,
run it, B. I'm here for all the smoke.
Yes,
like,
Suzuki definitely.
Suzuki is not here to play games.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care if we're on the same team. Like,
disrespect will not be tolerated.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys freaking ran it, and I'm gonna tell you what, we complain a lot. about all the Suzuki-gun tropes.
But it works here.
Bro, in this match, it worked because not only did they do everything they normally do, but they were like way more intense.
On it, yeah.
Like, it was awesome. It was awesome. I really liked this 6-man tag. And I was not I was like, my God, Isuka, Archer,
Kanemaru.
I was actually really torn. I told you at the time, I was like, I'm really torn because on the one side you got Suzuki and Despy, who are like two of my favorite guys in the like in the whole group. But then you got Isuka, who's my least favorite guy in the entire group. And then on the other side you got Archer, Davey Boy, and Kanemaru, who I like. I'm kind of like, you know,
so on.
Yeah, I'm apathetic to them. So then when I would normally, if you took those three and put them up against Suzuki and Despy, I'm like, yeah, that's the team I'm going to take. But then you got Isuka, and he's
biting people.
Oh, my God.
Got the string out there, the iron claw.
Bringing down the average. So, but this match was really good. These guys worked really well together. There was a lot of heat for this. And where were they this first night, by the way? Kanagawa?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they had a big house.
Yeah.
They had a big house. They had a good crowd, and this crowd was really into the Suzuki-gun match, and I just thought it was great. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like to talk too. Like you, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Suzuki ended up getting the win with the Gotch pile driver on Kanemaru.
Yeah, and it was great because the match was still just like in a flurry, and then suddenly Suzuki and Kanemaru alone, and it's sudden. It wasn't like a long drawn out. It was just gotcha, pinned ya. That's it. 1, 2, 3. And it just happened so suddenly. And then it was like, it happened so suddenly that it was kind of like, because obviously the next night, KES was taking on Suzuki and Isuka. So there was still that tension. Like, it never got resolved at the end of the match. So it just kind of continued the theme. And you knew, like, that the next night that they're going to run it again. So it was a great way to kind of, like, end the match and build anticipation for the next matchup between them. And yeah, I just really dug this. I don't know why. Like, I'm not the biggest Suzuki-gun fan in the world. There are guys I like, guys I don't like, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, overall, yeah, it worked for me. I thought it was good.
I was glad we didn't get like the World Tag League, like, you know, interfactions shenanigans we get, you know?
Like finger poke of doom kind of stuff?
Yeah, guys trying to work together or hesitant to hit each other. They don't
right,
lock
like they didn't have like Desperado and Kanemaru being like afraid to like, we're champions, we can't, you know.
It makes sense though, if, like, I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but like Minoru Suzuki is like a founder of Pancrase, you know what I mean? Those guys like all literally were best friends and lived together, you know? But then, like, every month they would, like, fight each other for real. Yeah. So it's like, he kind of has that, like, that mentality, like, that shoot mentality. And I mean, like, he does train with these guys and stuff. Like, them being a faction is not just, like, for appearances. Like, they really train together, they roll together. And so, like, kind of makes sense that, like, if they're going to be in a match, like, Suzuki's not going to play games and, like, have them, you know, dick around or whatever. Like, they're going to fight.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So the next match, we had the first tournament match of the night. Finjuice, David Finlay and Juice Robinson taking on the Young Lion team of Ayato Yoshida and Shota Umino. Juice and Finlay had their matching gear. Juice with his Macho Man inspired gear that he debuted at the Global Wars tour.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that yet. I liked it. I gotta do it.
I like that. Oh, yeah.
I you know what? I was doing a good Macho Man the other day, and I can't do it right now. Like, I can't think of what my Macho Man voice is. You know you're a has-been. Hey, Juice, you're looking pretty fly. I don't know. I can't do it. I have to, like, I can do impressions if I hear it, but, like, sometimes if I...
Off the fly, you're
like, off the fly, it's harder for me, but, like, yeah, I saw this Macho Man, interview the other day where he was just like ripping into him and Gorilla Monsoon were just getting into it, and like Gorilla Monsoon was like the not so macho man. He's like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't just hear that.
But yeah, so this was a good matchup here. Juice and David Finlay, like we mentioned last week, first time in the tag league, but they team all together throughout the year, so they're pretty, they're familiar with each other. They're a good solid tag team. And then Yoshida and Umino, they've been like feuding with each other, and this is the first time they're really teaming up and as a team.
Last week, I want to get your opinion on something, Jeremy.
Yeah,
this has been bothering me. Okay.
Okay.
So I re-listened to last week. Something didn't sit right with me. We were sitting here, we were bantering back and forth, and then, like when you say something really awkward and no one like says anything, and like conversation just moves on, and you feel like something weird happened there.
Yeah.
Last week I went on a pretty long rant about Juice and Dave Finlay and why I thought they were gonna do well, and you just ignored it and you just kept moving on. So,
I did.
And then last week, shout out to Wilfred of the Wilfred Watches podcast. He actually had us come on and do a preview for
another World Tag League preview on his channel. But
kind of different from what we do.
Yeah, it was totally different. Yeah,
so it was cool. But yeah, you guys both were like pretty. Or maybe I don't want to put words in Wilfred's mouth because I can't remember. I haven't really listened to it, but it felt like I was still kind of going to bat for Juice and Dave Finlay. And clearly they picked up 2 points here, and it put them at the top of the entire block. So obviously I know what I'm talking about.
Well, young boy, it's the first night of the tournament, and they were facing the Young Lion team. We'll see what happens, further down in the tournament.
So, explain to me, what are the reasons that you don't see this team like going far, or like having a high point total?
2 words: David Finlay. But seriously, like,
you don't think they're getting ready to push him? You don't feel like they're kind of positioning him, or no?
Not really. Like, yeah, he had a match with Kenny Omega, but
But he just came back from Mexico.
I know, but it's not like it was like a super long excursion or anything.
Yes, it was. It was an excursion. He's back from excursion.
He's gone for what, like a month or so?
He's ready to grab the brass rings.
Oh my. Dude, he's still lower positioned. Even Juice, who was like going to be a U.S. title challenger, is still kind of lower ranked to compare to some of these guys in this tournament. So, going forward, yeah, there are some teams they're going to beat, but I see them, like I mentioned last week, these guys probably being in the middle of the pack when it comes down to the finals. I don't think they're going to be in contention at all.
Man.
Yeah, honestly,
sticking to it.
Yeah, I don't think they stand a chance, especially with the potential. It's probably Juice and Cody at Wrestle Kingdom. So
I just feel like with Dave and also with Juice's, with everything that happened after the G1, it just feels like it's a good opportunity for them to kind of like push these guys to a degree. I'm not saying I think they're gonna win or be in the finals, although that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, they should take the time and opportunity in the World Tag League and push these guys.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love both of these guys. They're great workers, and they are deserving of a push, but clearly they're positioned, lower right now. I love these guys, but I just don't see a bright future for them in this tournament. But they did, like you mentioned, pick up the win here against Yoshida and Umino. They had a nice little combo with the left hand of God into the stunner.
I don't like it. I've said this before on the show, and sometimes I'll break this rule if it's a good enough combo, but I don't like the whole I'm hitting you with one of my signatures and now I'm hitting you with my finish. I want them to develop a finish that works together, you know what I mean?
Right.
This seems disconjointed when guys do that. I'm not a big fan when guys do this personally.
I don't mind. There are some that look good. Here I didn't mind it.
It's like, okay, for instance, like, you take like a Triple H and Shawn and
the super kick pedigree.
Super kick into a pedigree, and it's like, all right, they're basically just hitting him with 2 finishers, like whatever. I like when teams have one finisher that puts the guys away. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just I'm a bigger fan of that. Like, I like tag team wrestling, and I want to know that, like, when they get hit with the heart attack, that's it. When they get hit with the doomsday device, like, that's it. You know what I mean?
And, even though these guys are a quote-unquote tag team, Juice has definitely been focused more on the singles role. So it's like...
But last year, Death Juice, Sami Callihan, and Juice Robinson, they developed a finish that was awesome.
I don't remember it. What was their...
It was... What's Juice's finish called?
The Pulp Friction.
Yeah, it's the Pulp Friction, and then... while he was doing the Pulp Friction, I think Sami Callihan was
Did a double stomp or something like that?
I think he was doing a splash off the top rope or something of that nature. So it was like happening at the same time.
Gotcha.
Which I was like, all right, that's freaking dope. But yeah, but you know what? Maybe that's just like the first night, them trying something out. I hope that does not become their finish. But other than that, I thought Juice and Dave looked good.
Yoshida and Umino looked good too.
Yep, Umino and Yoshida look good. Yeah, it was good stuff.
They did the spot where I think it was Umino had Finley and the Crab, and Juice had to keep punching him off. He would fire up. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yep. Yeah, I like that too, actually. So then that brings us to the next match, which was Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi taking on Tenkoji, Satoshi Kojima, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan.
So last week we got some heat because we mentioned, the New Japan dads, and we kind of...
Bro, I got nuclear heat. I got go away heat, X-Pac heat.
X-Pac heat.
My God, man.
But yeah, I guess we were pretty harsh on the New Japan dads last week.
I didn't think we were.
I think there was a misunderstanding of what we said. We're not saying, the New Japan dads need to retire and leave and be totally gone from New Japan. I mentioned last week there was a spot for them. Put them in, the undercard opening matches and wrestle these young lions, get their shine on, get a win, and just have them there for the tournament just in these opening matches, not completely get rid of them. But some of these guys I don't think are up to almost, to me, they're in a Hanma situation. They shouldn't be, cleared or whatever their terminology is for having high quality matches in this tournament.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of the points that were brought up by one of our listeners who's out there, who is a longtime listener and someone that we both actually really respect, because he's stuck with us as a listener the whole time we've been doing this. We actually met him in real life, which is really cool. And even when I don't agree with his viewpoints, it's always so well thought out. I actually wanted to respond to it, but this has been a very insane week for me. So I wish I would have actually taken time and replied to some of the points they made, but I'll just basically say this. I do feel last week I kind of prefaced some of the things that I said where I even had mentioned that in the past when I criticized the young lion or the New Japan dads, that I had been a little overzealous and sensational in my criticisms of them, kind of broad statements that might not be totally true.
Right.
But at the same time, I also can't sit here and say that I think that these two teams should be in this tournament. And here's the reason why. And this is just my opinion. And maybe I need to make peace with what the World Tag League is. Mm-hmm. Because the World Tag League at this point right now, what it actually is, it's somewhat of a break point between, the end of Power Struggle going into Wrestle Kingdom. We get a few stories built off of it, and it sets up a tag team match, but it's really a kind of take it easy sort of time period. Right. And if that's what it is, then yeah, Nagata, Nakanishi, Kojima, and Tenzan do belong in it. If that's what it's going to be, which that's what it is, then sure, they should be in it. It's just that I, as a fan, don't want that.
Right. It's called the World Tag League. This should be the premier tournament for tag team wrestling. This tournament should be taken seriously. This should be elevating teams that want to push next year, elevating your tag team champions for Wrestle Kingdom. There should be a lot of spotlight and focus on this.
Yeah, I would love if this was something where when you talk about the World Tag League, you talk about it the same way you talk about BOLA.
Yeah.
You talk about like
the G1.
The G1.
This should be the G1 of
like
tag teams.
The Cruiserweight Classic, the best, CZW Best of the Best. These like awesome tournaments where you're like, heck yeah. And World Tag League just isn't that, but I'm like, there's this part of me, it's like, that's what it should be.
Right.
So like when we're talking about...
And it can be that. They have the guys.
Yeah, they have the guys.
They have the connections to teams and other promotions. They could make it a World Tag League and make it great.
I'm not saying that like Nakanishi needs to go... Well... I'm not saying that they need to go away or that there's not a place for Tenzan and Kojima and Nagata. But in a world-class, high stakes like tag team, tournament where I want to see. Basically, I want the tag team equivalent of the G1.
Exactly,
is my thing.
Same here.
And so I don't think that the same way I don't think that Nakanishi, Tenzan, and should be in a G1. And I know Nagata and Kojima could probably do it, but they probably shouldn't. That's the same way I feel about the World Tag League. I don't think the World Tag League should be a get me by, stand by tournament. I think it should literally be like the premier tag team tournament where like the Jim Crockett Cup. So that's my only thing here. Now let's talk about the actual match. And so these guys have long history. They've been in finals of World Tag Leagues of years past. And last year, Tenkoji actually picked up the win in the block against this team. So this was kind of like a rematch of last year. And what did you think of this?
Overall, I thought the match was fine. These guys are going out there doing their greatest hits. Kojima with the machine gun chops, and Tenzan with the Mongolian chops, Nagata with his kind of strong style, and the armbar with the rolling the eyes back, Nakanishi his shoulder blocks and the torture rack. All of them is kind of the greatest hits pretty much from these guys.
Yeah.
Working their way to the finish.
I'll be honest. I felt like this for me. I felt like this match dragged a bit. Yeah, they all got their stuff in. The crowd seemed to be into it, so I can't criticize it too much. They did seem to be entertained. Obviously, these guys are legends, and so that they still have followings and everything like that.
And they're all still over.
Yeah, but at the same time, by no means was this good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a good match, and when it was over, I was surprised to learn that it had only gone 12 minutes because it did feel like it went longer than that.
Yeah.
But Yuji Nagata ends up hitting Kojima. What does he call his suplex?
Is this an exploder? He hit the Justice knee and then an exploder.
Yeah.
And then got the win on Kojima, which I was very pissed about.
Yeah, you're actually like legit pissed, and I'm like, it doesn't matter, Jeremy.
Be pinning that bum Tenzan.
What? My gosh. Anyways, so Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi pick up their first 2 points in the tournament, tying them with the tournament leaders, Finjuice.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. That's what we're doing.
What are we doing?
Oh man.
I didn't make them the tournament leaders. They made themselves the tournament leaders by being the tournament leaders.
Moving on, we had Don Callis finally joining in commentary. Found a place to land his helicopter. Let's get to the next matchup. We had the best friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, against Hangman Page and Yujiro Takahashi of Bullet Club Elite.
This was good. Really, really good. I liked this a lot.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. It was a really solid tag match. Chucky T and Trent, those guys, I mean, they're a great tag team. They work really well together. And, Hangman, we've mentioned before, he's a guy, he's going to go out there and bust his ass every match he's there. He takes every opportunity he gets to shine. That's exactly what he did here in this match. And, Yujiro held up his end of the bargain, too.
Well, I noticed with Yujiro, in the beginning of the match, he kind of, when they were getting the best friends, they're kind of like babyface, shine segment. They kind of got that on Yujiro, and then Yujiro tagged out, and then Hangman kind of went crazy. Yujiro kind of took it easy in this match, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
He didn't do much until the very end, but then at the end, it was like, like, okay, Yujiro's like really, he's going now. And so then all four guys were kind of on at that point. So, yeah, I will admit, yeah, he held up his side of the bargain, but it took him a while. He only did it in like the last quarter of the match as opposed to the whole time.
Yeah.
But this was really, really, it was just very good. Like you said, Hangman Page is a guy that he maximizes every opportunity that he gets.
Yeah.
Like, he just shines, dude. Like,
yeah, you want to talk about grabbing, the brass ring? Like, Hangman does that every match. Like, whether it's a singles match, tag, ladder, whatever it is, he goes out there and he puts on a performance of a lifetime.
Do you know, like, for, like, the majority of my life, I did not know what grabbing a brass ring even was? Do you know what it is?
Outside of, like, it being said, like...
Outside of Vince McMahon and it being said in WWE, like, do you know what it actually even is?
No.
It's a reference to, like, back in the day when people would be on merry-go-rounds, like with the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
They would have, like, a brass ring, like, that'd be on the outside and it would, like, come down and people would have to try to, like, reach out and grab it and then you'd win a prize.
Okay.
I literally, like, I think it might have been even, like, months ago that I felt, like, I'm not surprised that you don't know because I was like... That is an old ass, like, like, who know, what are they talking about? Like, like,
right.
They're talking about something super old when they're talking about it. That's like going down to, like, the malt shop and, like, it's like something from, like, the 50s, super old, like.
But yeah, and of course it would be, Vince coming up with that.
Yeah, Beretta and Chucky T looked good. It was funny. We were on the Wilford Watches podcast and, like...
Yeah, Wilford hates Chucky T.
He hates Chucky T. But then, like, we start watching this match and, like, the chain wrestling, as soon as the match starts, like, he just starts, like, chain wrestling and he's so freaking smooth. And I was like, yeah, this man Chucky T sucks, right?
Every spot he did that was awesome. You're like, oh man, that guy sucks. Feels like a big flip dive. Look at this man, he's trash.
Yo, what was funny? I was talking to Rich about the match and about best friends, and I was like, Chucky T's much better than Beretta, and he was like, but I like Beretta way better, and I was like, yeah, Beretta is better in a sense. Like, he has more upside. He's more, he's more marketable. Like, there's more upside with him. There's more you could probably do. But when it comes to, like, the Ray Stevens worker, like, category, I mean, Chucky T blows Trent Beretta away.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's just really good. I mean, that's all I keep saying this. Like, he's just, every time I see him, like, he's just freaking good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm a big fan of Chucky T. And they got the win here with the Strong Zero, which is the double stomp dude buster combo.
And that's one where it's kind of like, I give them the pass because I love the Strong Zero. I mean, Rocky and Trent were doing that before anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got history, but, it's basically just Beretta doing the dude buster and the guy jumping on his butt.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm into it. Like, I love that move. I'm like, plus it's called a Strong Zero, which is awesome. So, yeah, but, I thought this match was good. Yeah, like, Hangman and Yujiro is like the Hangman show this year. Like, I know we said that it was kind of last year, but it's like really, really, like, this year it really is.
Yeah, I mean, New Japan, they love Hangman Page, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up, getting some kind of deal with them next year and being pushed in a higher position.
You know what's funny, though? The scary thing about this company is we say that about so many guys. Like, we're like, they need to push this guy, they need to push this guy. And then it's like, they have so many good guys all at the same time. Like, how can they?
Yeah.
and then a year goes by and we're like, man, they're just wasting Hangman Page, you know? But yeah, I mean, this company's great, and this match was I just keep saying it, like, this match was good. I mean, it wasn't blowaway or anything. It's probably like 3.5, but for whatever, I just really enjoyed this match. I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man. Winning for the best friends. They got a point on the win column there,
and that ties them up with the. Oh man!
Yes,
so
that ties them with Finn Juice and Nagata and Nakanishi,
the tournament leaders.
Yeah.
And then the main event of the night, we got GOD.
Well, it was the semi-main.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the last tournament match of the night, though.
Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, GOD, the current reigning IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, facing Togi Makabe and Toa Hanare.
Yeah, so...
Great Bash Hanare.
Yeah. First of all, I thought it was hilarious. Don Callis talking about Jado, like he's gone to the gimmick store.
Before we even talk about... No, you're absolutely right. But before we talk about that, so, like, when did Don Callis show up on the show? Like, what match was that?
I mentioned it earlier. He showed up before the Best Friends vs. Bullet Club match.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't paying attention, obviously. Yeah, so we got Don Callis back, man.
Yeah, it was great having Don back.
Bro, him and Kevin Kelly, like, just...
amazing chemistry.
I mean, their chemistry is second to only ours. Like... No, but their chemistry, like, they play off each other so well. It's incredible. Like, and it's like, you know, he's been gone all this time, and then Kevin keeps having to, like, fill him in on the story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a shoot.
Yes, and then he'd be like, I haven't seen this guy in like 6 months. Like the last time I was here, it was like,
like, yeah, he's like filming, and he's like, well, see, the thing you got to understand is this is what's been going on, and I'm like, Don Callis has not watched 1 minute of New Japan.
He's like, I thought Tamar and I were cool. He's like, a lot's happened with them the last time you heard Don.
Yeah, and then so when he starts explaining to them, you know, what's been going on with Bullet Club and Jay White, and he's like, I knew it. I told you. Jado was a slimy snake in the grass, just a leech on humanity.
Yeah. He's like, Gato traded out one cash cow for another one. He's like, Jado, he took one too many trips to the gimmick shop. Look at him. He's got a hat, a bandana, a blowhorn, a kendo stick.
It is a bit much. Like, he's telling the truth. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, what is this guy?
Yeah.
He looks like Bone Soldier. And he's not Bone Soldier.
Yeah.
Ishimori's Bone Soldier, and he doesn't look like Bone Soldier.
Yeah, he's got the La Parka glove on. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, Togi Makabe and Toa Hanare, who famously only won one match in the entire tournament last year, taking on the tag champions. I'm not sure how God was able to manage to get such an easy first match, to start off the tournament, especially in a main event spot, but that's exactly
luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw.
That was a decent match. We've mentioned several times before, big fans of Toa Hanare. When this guy's in the ring, man, hard-hitting, high-paced action from this guy.
Bro, remember when I was not a fan of Toa Hanare?
Both of us. We buried Toa several times on this show.
I didn't like Toa Hanare for a while, and then it was like slowly but surely he's getting better. And then all of a sudden it was like the Ishii, like, and I was like, did you... Actually, the very first time I ever even got a little bit into Toa Hanare was like last year during the Tag League when he wrestled Ishii and Yano, and him and Ishii had that sequence, and I was like, yo, this guy Hanare sucks, but
that was cool. Yeah.
But did you see him and Ishii? But now, like, Toa Hanare, like, he's got to be in contention for most improved of the year. I mean,
definitely.
He's got to be. This match was nothing, great, but I mean, they did a lot of the Bullet Club shenanigans stuff with Jado hitting people with kendo sticks when they're running by. They kind of continued that, a lot of just the shenanigans. Togi Makabe didn't necessarily look great. He's another guy that like we didn't necessarily bring up last week, but I mean you could put him right in there with that Tenzan and Nakanishi.
Right. And clearly, Makabe can go if he wants to go. And clearly in this tournament, this match he wasn't, weren't taking any bumps.
I don't know if that's true, that he can go when he wants to go. I think in reality, he'd probably always want to go.
Yeah.
But if needed, then he could. But if it was up to me, I'd be go all the time.
I'm just saying he's capable of more. We've seen him in a few singles matches where he's had some good performances, and I feel here he was relying on Toa a lot and wasn't really bumping that much.
I mean, he's fine in tag matches. I mean, this year he's had 2 what I would call good matches that I saw. It was the Suzuki match at the anniversary show, and then during the G1, him and Yoshihashi, for whatever reason, just was great. I don't know why. On that first night, it was just great. But I didn't think he looked very good here. I thought Toa looked good here, but they really couldn't handle what God was bringing to the table. And God ended up picking up a win here.
Yeah, Tangaloa hit the ape shit on Hanare. Pretty similar to the G1 when they were building them up with Tangaloa getting all the wins. Yeah,
there was a moment where Tangaloa hit a gun stun towards the end on Togi Makabe, and it seemed like he was about to hit one on Toa Hanare, and then they, kind of broke out of that and moved into the real finishing sequence, which ended with Tangaloa hitting the apeshit, the Rikishi driver.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised because I thought it was actually over before that. But I think both of these teams will have better matches in this tournament. This just they didn't gel completely well here. I'm not going to sit here and complain, but I thought this was about on the same level as the New Japan Dads match.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the tag team match of the night was
Best Friends
against... you said Bullet Club earlier. It's not Bullet Club. It's the Elite.
Bullet Club Elite.
I don't know what they are.
The opening video, the VTR, when it shows Hangman and Yujiro, the logo said Bullet Club Elite.
Well, let's talk about this last match here. So we had a 10-man tag. We had LIJ, Tetsuya Naito, Evil, Sonata, Bushi, and Shingo Takagi taking on the Chaos team of Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano, Yo, and Sho. Which, on paper, this is a freaking awesome lineup.
Star-studded main event here. But typical 10-man tag. I mean, it was very good. I mean, but they weren't going completely all out.
I thought it was very good.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
Very good. I thought it was one of the better 10-man tags I've seen all year.
Yeah. And, we've mentioned this all the time, but LIJ, they work so well together as a team. And even with the addition of Shingo, he fits right in with those guys. And they're just so smooth. And they're one of the best factions that work together in these matches.
I thought everybody, looked like stars here. Literally everybody. The stuff with Shingo and Sho was really good. The stuff with
I cannot wait for the Shingo and Sho one-on-one match.
The stuff with Shingo and Yo.
Oh, Shingo and Okada even had a little bit too.
They had a little bit, but there was a sequence with Shingo and Yo where I was like, dang, Yo looks great here. And he kind of gets overlooked, but yeah, I mean, he was really good. Obviously, Naito and Okada. Evil and Sonata. Okada kind of ran it with a little bit with everybody in this match, which was kind of cool. Ishii, what I thought was funny? And this is not hyperbole. Shingo Takagi is much bigger than Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not much bigger, but it's noticeable that he is bigger than Ishii. So one of these two things either got to happen. Shingo got to come up, or Ishii got to go down. And I'm here for the Ishii Junior run. I'm gonna keep pimping that. For whatever reason, it hasn't caught on. I don't know why. Maybe it's our viewership, our listeners. I don't know.
But
there's a conspiracy with the IWGP. They know Ishii would be the greatest champion in oceanic history. They don't want him in there, but by God.
I think we're more likely to get Shingo being called up, and even they mentioned it on commentary. Even the crowd, when Shingo and Okada, they were like, "Oh!" and they were like, "A lot of people want to see Shingo and Okada."
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Shingo's. I mean, if you've ever, I don't know if you saw the Champions Carnival this past year.
I did not know
his stuff. He can definitely work the heavyweight style, but
but I did see some clips of him in Bola, and man, he was taking it to guys like Walter and Jeff Cobb. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would, I wouldn't say that this year this year definitely wasn't like the Chaos LIJ feud or anything. Like, they didn't have a prolonged feud. I mean, they did have those series of matches going into, what was it, New Beginning?
Yeah.
And then after that, but throughout the year, we'd get like interactions, Sonata and Toru Yano in the G1 and Sho and Yo against, Bushi and Shingo, different stuff like that. This kind of was cool because it kind of called upon everything that's happened over the past year between these guys in different ways and kind of like culminated in this match. And I really, really like this match. There was one thing I wanted to point out. We have criticized New Japan in the past for when they're doing tours, they give us a lot of matches that are repetitive.
Right.
And we're like, why are you doing this? Like, we have to watch this. But this was great. Like, there's no real reason that Chaos and LIJ should be main eventing against one another. There's no storyline implications. But they gave it to us anyways.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And
well, if you think about it, it's kind of, Evil and Sonata will eventually be facing off against Yano and Ishii.
yeah, and they played off that really well as well. Yeah. So no, that makes total sense. I'm not saying there's absolutely no reason for it, but
right.
Hats off to New Japan for giving us something that's varied. Like, we know that for the rest of this tour, we're not getting another 10-man tag between these two groups, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't have to watch a different version of this every single night when I put on New Japan World for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Which I'm glad. Like, they gave us a great match, and we can move on, and, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Naito ended up picking up the win here with the Destino on Yo. And then, of course, we had the post-match promo with Naito and LIJ. Evil cutting a promo as well. They tried to get Sonata to cut a promo. Wasn't having it.
It wasn't a big enough moment.
So that wrapped up night one of the World Tag League. And then the following day, November 18th, was another night. We were in Korakuen Hall. We have Kevin Kelly, Don Callis, and our good buddy Chris Charlton on commentary.
Yeah. Let me see here.
And we it opened up with Finn Juice Robinson, and David Finlay in non-tournament action, taking on Yumura and Tsuji. Obviously, Finn Juice got the win here. Thought the Young Lions looked good.
They did that spot that you brought up during the tournament match with Umino and Yoshida.
Right.
They did a different version of that this time where they put...
They had Finlay. Yumura and Tsuji had Finlay. They each had a single crab on him.
Yes.
And then Juice was trying to get them to break it.
And he every time he tried, this spot in this match was better than the one in the actual tournament match. It was noteworthy. That's why I'm bringing it up, because it was really good. And which goes to show you again how much I like this team.
Tsuji and Yumura.
They're great, man.
Yeah, and the crowd was into it. Like,
the crowd was really
every time they fired up, they were like, "Oh,
yeah."
Oh.
Well, yeah, because sorry, not Finlay. Juice was killing them with shots, and they would sell it so hard, like they were about to go down, and then they would pop back up and be like, ah! It was like Dragon Ball Z or something.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But really good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also they had a nasty flapjack on Yumura.
Yeah.
Where he ended up landing on his head. I don't know.
At the end.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a flapjack. It's a regular flat face bump, but somehow he flipped over and took a nasty neck bump.
I didn't catch that. I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was towards the end. They hit the double flapjack, crunched his head, and then Finlay hit him with a brain buster on his knee and got the win. Because even Don Callis was because he dropped on his head, he was like, "Oh great, you just dropped him on his head again." So yeah, and what do you think about Finlay busting out that brain buster on the knee? It was Adam Cole's old finisher in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, and it leads me to believe that everything I've been saying about the fact that they're going to push this guy is absolutely true. New finisher, new body. He's looking jacked. He's looking muscular. We're going to call him... I don't know what they're going to call him. What did they used to call Finlay?
Finlay?
Nah, didn't he have a what was he called in WCW?
He was a Belfast brawler.
We're gonna call him the Belfast fast bruiser.
His name is Finley, and he loves to fight.
You just get out there and tell me you love to fight. My Vince McMahon is just him when he's like being grass beaten. That's all it is, like ever. But I thought it was cool. I didn't expect the finish to come there. But yeah, he's got a new finisher, so that's pretty cool. Maybe they could find a way where they work that into a double team move. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
The next up, Guerrillas of Destiny defeated Hanma and Ren Narita.
They seem to be in the storyline, kind of taking some liberties, trying to target the neck and the back of Hanma. I liked when Tama went to go do the Kokeshi.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And he missed. That was pretty funny. But this is good. Narita looked good. Hanma looked like Hanma. You know, don't have to belabor the point. God picks up the win. Non-tournament match. And then the next match was Kojima, Tenzan, Togi Makabe, and Toa Hanare teaming up to take on Yuji Nagata, Manabu Nakanishi, Shota Umino, and Ayota Yoshida.
And you know, this was fine again.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, it wasn't bad.
New Japan just has great, like, 8-man tags.
Yeah, I mean, the multi-man matches are great, and plus, you know, less time for certain guys, and
I thought this was good. I really liked this. I thought it was really good. I'm a big fan of this during the tag league instead of the, like, straight standard. Well, I guess one thing that could be said here is, like, they're really only doing tag matches so far. It seems to be basically against Yumura and Tsuji and Hanma and Narita.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't criticize it too much because really it's just two tag teams that they're kind of like doing this with, and then the rest of the matches seem to be multi-mans.
Yeah.
But this is usually what they do during the tag league is they'll have like two of the teams that are not wrestling that night team up and take on another two teams or something of that nature. So this was good.
And the big thing here was Toa Hanare hitting the Toa bottom and getting the pinfall here.
Who did he pin?
He pinned
Young Boy?
He hit Umino. He hit a pop-up Samoan drop, picked him up, Toa bottom, boom.
Wait, where was I with this? So Toa bottom is the rock bottom, basically, right?
Yeah. Because remember that he was teasing the Toa bottom for so long, and we were like, when are we going to see the Toa bottom?
I thought he hit him with that big spear that he like lifts the guy up and then drops him.
Nah, it was the Toa.
Well, he did hit that.
He did hit that, but the finish was the Toa bottom.
I like that spear. I'm not a big fan of the spear in wrestling in general because it's so overplayed. Like, everybody does it.
Yeah.
But like, I really, really, really like Toa Hanare's spear because it's very, very different. Like, he gets under them and
he's pretty much almost like a rugby tackle.
Yeah, it's like a tackle. He picks him up and then drops him. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. So I like that. I must have missed in all transparency. I literally just powered through this show like 2 hours before we went on the air. So yeah. I must have missed that, but aside from that, I will say this. I thought that this 8-man tag was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, good stuff. And then there was another multi-man match, a 6-man tag. We had Kota Ibushi, Hangman Page, Yujiro Takahashi taking on the Best Friends and Hiroki Goto. I thought this was a really good matchup. Anytime you got Ibushi in there and Hangman Page on the same side, man.
This one was fine, but for some reason it just seemed very disconjointed to me. The only thing that I loved the Bushi and Goto interactions.
Yeah. And this came down to
actually no, I take it back. Now I'm thinking about it. The stuff with Hangman and the Best Friends was really, really good too. So. This one was fine. I mean, it just was what it was, but there was some good stuff in it, yeah.
Yeah, and Hangman hit the buckshot on Chucky T. Yujiro followed it up with the Pimp Juice DDT. So Bullet Club Elite gets the win here. And then post-match, Goto gets on the mic, talks about how he keeps challenging Ibushi for the title, challenging for the belt. He's like, are we going to do this? Like, what's going on? Kind of going back and forth.
He keeps challenging Ibushi to challenge him for his own belt.
Yeah. And then, Goto's like, fine, then no shot, and then Ibushi changed his mind and accepted the challenge, so it's official.
He basically like did it. We do this thing in sales. It's called a takeaway, where like you give someone an offer, and then before they like try to tell you no, you tell them, well, they're not you're not qualified for it. I'm gonna take my offer away. And when you do that to someone, they're like, what? No, come back here. Bring it back. And that's exactly what he did. A takeaway. He took the title away from Ibushi, and Ibushi's like, "Are you joking? Like you're gonna walk away like that?
Nah, bro. Like
let's do it."
Yeah. So it's official. The Never Openweight title match is set for the World Tag League Finals, December 9th, and this is great news because this means that Kota Ibushi can beat Goto at the World Tag League Finals, grab that Never belt. Will Ospreay can walk down and challenge Kota Ibushi for the Never title at Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Yeah, so I don't know if we talked ad nauseum about this, but I feel like it came up on a previous show, and I was like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Did I say that?
I don't remember, but I do remember us mentioning that the only possible shot would be, the World Tag League Final would be potentially the only.
I feel like I must have shot it down because that seemed like such an unlikely scenario. Oh, I probably shouldn't in that because I mean, if you think about it, Tag League Finals is hypothetically, in theory, like a bigger show. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are gonna be title defenses, and so it would make sense to some degree that they might potentially do this. So I shouldn't have like taken it out of the realm of possibility because clearly that's exactly what they're doing. Have you seen any of the stuff online, like the stuff Chris Charlton's been posting? Like with Kota Ibushi and Goto like conversing about this match.
Yeah, going back and forth, and like Ibushi's like, "What is Never?" We mentioned
really
it.
Confusing.
Yeah, we mentioned it some of it in the news last week. But yeah, Ibushi being like, what is Never supposed to mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, why does Goto want me to challenge it?
Yeah, like. Sometimes, like, Kota Ibushi, like, when I read some of the tweets that, like, Chris, like, I'm like, there must be something either in the language that I'm not understanding or or Kota Ibushi's just a really weird guy.
I think it's safe to say he's kind of a weird guy.
It could be a little of both, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm excited. So, I mean, there's probably a lot of people that are happy about this because, I mean...
Yeah, I saw the news last night. I was recording One Nation Radio with Rich, Survivor Series post show, and Rich was scrolling through Twitter, and that popped up, and we took a minute to talk about that because that was like great news. And James was like, I'm not believing Ospreay and Ibushi until I see it, until it happens. I've been excited for this match all year, and it keeps getting taken away from me, so I'm not getting excited until it happens. But I'm like, the seeds are planted. Like, this has to be what's happening. I mean,
I would have been more excited if it was Ospreay and, Taichi, but whatever.
Cricket.
But, yeah, so this is exciting. So Ibushi and Goto are going to lock horns at the World Tag League Finals. And then, did we get the six-man tag after this?
Yep, Okada and Roppongi 3K taking on Shingo, Bushi, and Tetsuya Naito from LIJ.
And this was really good, too.
Yeah, I mean, both, Chaos and LIJ, these factions, they work so well together. And, they're building up the tag match at Wrestle Kingdom with Roppongi 3K and Shingo and Bushi. So, yeah, good stuff here.
So that's going to take us into the tournament matches. So the first tournament match of the night was the Suzuki-gun tag team matchup of Killer Elite Squad taking on Minoru Suzuki and Takashi Iizuka. And what were your thoughts on this, Jeremy?
Honestly, once again, I like this. I like the Suzuki-gun on Suzuki-gun action here. Once again, like in the multi-man match on day one, I felt like it really worked in here. I really liked the interactions with Suzuki and Dave Boy Smith Jr., Suzuki and Lance Archer, like just going at each other, hard strikes.
I liked parts of this. I was not as high on this as the six-man tag from the night before, where the brawling on the outside in the first night, to me, seemed to be very visceral. And, kind of like it kind of went beyond what they normally do. In this match, it was kind of by the numbers, it felt like. Like, the first half of the match was just very standard. We got a lot more of the Isuka shenanigans in this match than we normally do.
Yeah, that I did not like, but mainly when Suzuki was in there.
I liked Suzuki and Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s interactions best in this match. That's kind of what did it for me. Archer was good, too.
Yeah, I mean, I like this match better than I thought I was going to like it. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bury it, and it's an Isuka match, so, I mean, that must tell you something.
Yeah.
I was a little... Here's the thing, though. I was expecting to like it because I was so high on the six-man tag. And then I was not totally disappointed, but I was a little underwhelmed. But, I mean, I wouldn't sit here and say that, it was awful or anything like that. I did think it was... I think the most intriguing thing was just to see how, after the night before... Given the fact that there's so much like venom and vitriol in the match, was this going to cause a rift or something of that nature with Suzuki-gun? And, these guys fought tooth and nail. They had a good match. And then, Archer and Davey Boy Smith ended up giving Isuka the
killer bomb. The
killer bomb, which like they kind of protected him obviously, but like Isuka's old, man. Like he barely takes bumps, and they took him all the way up there, hit him with that freaking killer bomb, and I was like, oh, they really hit him with it.
Yeah.
Which was great.
So they pick up their first victory. In a post match, Suzuki, all of them kind of did like almost like LIJ, like fist bump kind of thing.
Nosotros LIJ. Yeah.
Nosotros Suzuki-gun. And then of course afterwards, Suzuki like hit one of the young lions. I forget which one it was, but like kicked him down. I think it might have been.
It was Kawato.
It was Kawato. Yeah. Oh wait. No. You got me there. Well, then pay attention.
It was Oka. That's hilarious. I said it was Kawato. You just
I just agree with you, not even paying attention. But
I don't know who it was. I have no idea.
Probably like Umino or Tsuji, one of those guys. But yeah. So moving on to the next match.
Kitamura. So the next match was Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi of Suzuki-gun taking on Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano, and I liked this a lot.
Yeah, once again, we were very questionable on the Taichi and Sabre team going in, but man, I'm really kind of digging Taichi and Sabre, and then we mentioned before how great Ishii and Yano are as a team, and they told a great story in this match. Sabre working over Ishii's arm, which he uses for the lariat and the brain buster. Taichi was going in there, was kind of like the strike-based offense for the team, and working over the arm also and taking out Yano.
They started the match off with Taichi and Toru Yano, and it was very much a comedy sort of thing, and they weren't touching, and it was kind of dragging. Mm-hmm. And your perception of that really is going to depend on your taste. Like, if you like Taichi for whatever reason, or if you are into the Toru Yano stuff, then you might have really dug this. I thought I could have done with a little bit less of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and complain, because eventually, once the match did start going, it really was great. The stuff you were talking about with Zach working the arm was just awesome. I mean, it really harkens back to what's gone on between Tomohiro Ishii and Zack Sabre Jr. Going back to the G1 last year, Zack Sabre had a doctor stoppage against Ishii. Then we were in New Orleans when they wrestled for the Rev Pro title. Tomohiro Ishii ended up lifting that off of Zack, ending his 1-year reign. And then they had a rematch, the rubber match this past G1, and they had a fantastic match where Zack Sabre ended up tapping out Tomohiro Ishii, which is like, so he's got like a stoppage win and an actual like submission victory over Tomohiro Ishii, and now they're going to be facing each other again. And this the interactions between them here is just great.
Yeah, I loved it. Great stuff, and I just love the way, even though his arm was worked over, Ishii was still using it, but how he sold it in between moves, and like he would hit a lariat and hold the arm and sell it, hit another one, sell it.
There was something funny. I think when he hit Zach at one point, like the first time he hit Zach in the whole match, and Zach just fell. And did you say crumble?
Yeah, he crumbled. Cause Zach was hitting him with European uppercuts, and like Don was like, "I don't think you want to strike with Ishii." And then Ishii just hits him with one strike, and Zach literally just like crumbled and fell.
Yo, when you said that, I just thought to myself, I was like, Tomohiro Ishii be out here bumbling, but Zach be crumbling. Trust me, you do not want the smoke with Ishii.
Yeah.
In the words of the famous podcaster James Boyd, the best bad body wrestler in the world today.
Yes. We also got the reemergence of Shooter Yano in this match. He was hitting fireman carries. He hit that. I love when he hits that big belly to belly. He hit that on Tai Chi.
Yo, he ripped Tai Chi's pants off.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So this ended up getting pretty good.
And Don had a funny call. He was like, "I can't wait for him to take those pants off." And Kevin was like, "What?" He's like, "No, not you, Kevin. Keep your pants on. Well, except later."
So this was funny because we kind of complained about how there were so many matches during the junior tag league that all just were like homogenized and kind of felt the same. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then you get a match like this. We're talking about how much we love it, and in actuality, it's probably like a 3-star match, maybe a little bit over that. And in all reality, the majority of the matches during the junior tag league were probably technically quote unquote better. Mm-hmm. But this, I'm gonna remember this because. Well, we'll talk about the ending here in a second, but there's just a lot to remember, like Toriano doing his shooter stuff, Tai Chi just being Tai Chi, Ishii and Zack Sabre, like that. There's more to kind of stick your teeth into in this World Tag League than there was in that Super Junior Tag League, you know?
Yeah. So coming on to the end here, Sabre has Ishii in the triangle. Yano tries to come in and make the save, but Sabre's holding on to red shoes, which allows Tai Chi to hit Yano with the mic stand, and then
I love when he hits people with the mic stand because it's not really connected to anything, and like pieces of plastic go everywhere.
Yeah, the mic fall apart.
And for some reason, when you hit somebody with something and little pieces break off,
it's a great visual.
It always it sells me more on it. Like, I don't know why, I just love it. Like, oh crap, like a piece of plastic broke off.
And then Sabre was able to lock in the triangle deeper, and the ref had to stop the match. Ishii passed out. Sabre and Tai Chi.
I was shocked when Ishii passed out. We were actually watching it, and okay, so one knock on Zack Sabre, because we live in a day and age where MMA exists, and 15 longer than that, 25 years ago, someone got put in a sleeper for a long time. We didn't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
But nowadays we know like how long a submission hold might potentially take to take effect. And so sometimes when Zach is putting people in these holds, like especially like this triangle, he put the triangle deep. I mean, like it'd be one thing if like the triangle wasn't locked in and you could tell, but like he put it in deep early, and then it's on and it's on and it's on and it's on and it's on. And I was sitting there and I was like, my God, like if this was really like in as deep as it looks like it is, like Ishii would be brain dead right now. Like nobody can and then he passed out, and I was like, that took forever. Like,
well, it's Ishii, man. He's more than any mortal man,
No. Listen, sometimes Zach holds guys in these holds for too long to where it starts breaking my suspense of belief. Like, and there's lots of guys who do that as well, but Zach can sometimes be egregious when it comes to that sort of thing. But other than that, I thought it was a great visual when he like choked out Ishii and Ishii just passed out, and I was like, dude, Zach might be lifting this British title come Wrestle Kingdom time.
Yeah, and so post match, he grabs the belt, sits on top of Ishii. And, great job adding to the build for the Wrestle Kingdom match. And I'm really looking forward to that match.
And Tomohiro Ishii and Toriano continue to deliver in tag team matches as we said that they would.
And I would consider this an upset loss. I mean, these guys...
It's an upset loss.
Former champions, sure. I consider them favorites to do well in this tournament. And they got...
It's an upset for sure.
Yeah. Got knocked off from their first matchup here.
And then the final match of the night was the 2017 World Tag League winners, Evil and Sonata, taking on Michael Elgin and Jeff Cobb. for all intents and purposes, I'm going to continue to call them Super Strong Team. I don't know if that name ever stuck, but they started teasing it last year, so they are Super Strong Team.
And they displayed some super strong moves in this matchup here.
This match was awesome.
Yes, easily so far the best match of the tour, the tournament.
Best match of the tour, best match of the tournament, and I liked it better than all the matches during the Junior Tag League.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
I thought this was awesome.
You know, when I was talking about, strong spots, at the beginning of the match, you have Elgin and Cobb doing that suplex, that stalling suplex exchange that they do. They did it with Evil, the heavier of the two LIJ guys.
Yeah, the fact that they held him up for so long. And actually, you got to think about it. I know if I got put in that position, like, to be put in a suplex, I don't think I could actually hold myself up to be straight like that for that long. Like, Evil's got to have some freaking core strength, dude. Like, his balance must be insane.
Yeah.
But, that was just, it was awesome to see them, like, kind of manhandling Evil and Sonata. Like, that was pretty cool. As good as this match was, did you feel like maybe it under-delivered a little bit, given the fact of how good the four talents involved in the match were, and the fact that it was a Corkin main event? Do you feel like there was... Because I feel like these guys can even have a better match than the one that they had here.
They probably could, but that thought didn't cross my mind when I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I was into it.
I thought it was very, very good. I felt like it underachieved just slightly because it was such a spotlight. But Elgin and Cobb looked better this year than they did last year, in my opinion. Even though they had, I do think that they had a couple matches that were better in the tournament last year than this. But this would fit right up there with the best work I've seen of theirs. And Evil and Sonata were great here. I thought this was really, really good.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb and Evil, they had some great exchanges playing off of their match they had at Global Wars. Sonata, I mean, obviously the guy's super talented, and when he gets in there, he was kind of a change of pace. Evil, Cobb, and Elgin are doing a hard-hitting power style. Sonata came there, changed things up with the highest pace and doing his little dives and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is going to be my first recommend of the tournament. I recommend Evil, Sonata, and Elgin and Cobb. If you're listening to this to see what's good, you should definitely check the main event of the second night out, which is great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. And plus, this show is free. So if you're listening to this podcast and you are not a subscriber to New Japan World, this match is free. You don't have to sign up. You go straight onto njpwworld.com. Go to the free section. This show will be there. Check it out. Check out this main event match. And so, as of right now, we have Tamatonga and Tangaloa 2 points, Finley and Juice with 2 points, Nagata and Nakanishi 2 points, Best Friend 2 points, Dave Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer 2 points, Sabre and Taichi 2 points, Evil and Sonata 2 points, and then the rest of the teams: Super Strong Team, Ishii and Yano, Suzuki and Iizuka, Makabe and Hanare, Yoshida and Umino, Tenkozy and Page and Takahashi all have 0 points.
So at this point, we've gotten through the first two, full production shows of the World Tag League 2018. The next few nights are going to be video on demand single cam shows. With that being said, I mean, what are your thoughts so far on the tournament? Do you have any hot takes, anything that you want to kind of talk about, or any predictions, moving forward? Where are we with this thing?
So I thought so far, the first 2 nights, I thought they were good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought these were good shows.
And so, so far the tournament, it's looking somewhat promising. We'll see what happens when we go into these VOD nights with no commentary and how these guys are going to perform at the smaller houses.
Yep.
But I'm still very strong in my prediction of Evil and Sonata winning overall. Mm-hmm. I think Yoshida and Umino, they're still going to be the guys that are going to have some great matches that are kind of like dark horses. Like, they're obviously not going to win many matches, if a match at all, but I think those guys are guys to look out for. I think Best Friends are the team to look out for. I expect Yano and Ishii to kind of have a comeback throughout the tournament. Expect God to be looking strong still.
Yeah, I thought Elgin and Jeff Cobb looked really good tonight.
They're another team to keep your eye on throughout this thing.
They didn't do a lot of nights where they took time off either. They worked hard last year. What did you think about Jeff Cobb being the one who took the pinfall against Evil? Being the fact that he's a television champion for Ring of Honor.
So at first, as a fan that watches multiple promotions and knowing how business works sometimes, you would think that Jeff Cobb wouldn't be the one to get pinned since he is Ring of Honor TV champion. He's a PWG champion. You think that, especially with the relationship with Ring of Honor and New Japan, that maybe that they would look out for them and protect Cobb. But in all reality, it's typical New Japan booking. The more seasoned New Japan guy doesn't get pinned. So Cobb getting pinned, it makes sense in the New Japan booking world. To them, the Ring of Honor TV title means nothing. PWG title, Bola win, good for you, Cobb. You're still lower on the totem pole for us, and you're eating this pinfall.
You're saying all this right now, looking at me like you're educating me on it.
No, I'm just communicating with you.
You ain't got to tell me, brother. You're preaching to the choir there. No, I'm just playing. No, absolutely. That was a very, I got to say, your take there is very astute. That's an apt analysis, Jeremy.
Professor.
I'm gonna sit under your learning tree.
Mike Tenay's retired. We need a new professor in professional wrestling. His name is Jeremy Donovan.
Wait, Mike Tenay just retired?
He's been gone for a couple of years now.
Okay, because you made it sound like Mike Tenay just retired. Where the freak is Mike Tenay been?
He was commentating on TNA up until maybe 2 years ago, maybe.
Really? I don't remember that.
A couple of years ago, however long it's been now. But
how was that?
What, Mike Tenay?
Yeah,
he was the main commentator all throughout TNA.
Man, I barely watch TNA.
Yeah, him and what's his face, the salesman dude. Oh man, I can't believe. I'm totally blanking on his name right now.
Doesn't matter. It's TNA. It's totally.
But yeah. Hey, we need a new professor, and I'll be the new professor of professional wrestling.
But I think some of the teams that stick out to me that I'm they're gonna be, your workhorse teams in this tournament: Juice and Finley, Best Friends, Umino and Narita, or I'm sorry, Umino and what's his name? Yoshida. Those are 3 teams right there that you just know you're gonna get good matches with a lot of these guys out of it. And there are some matches coming up, on the calendar that I'm excited about. But I will say this. We had criticisms about the tournament, complaints about different things. I don't even call them so much complaints, but more just insights and things like that. I did see a lot of fans and people on the Reddit and things like that who were wow, for all the downplay that the World Tag League gets, these shows were so good. And they're these people must not know what they're talking about. But the thing is, it's always good when they're in Corrigan.
Right.
And it's always good when they have the full production and the cameras on. But, on night 12...
Right.
On night 12 when they're in that little
gymnasium, high school gymnasium, and there's no commentary. Yeah.
And it's Suzuki and Iizuka
against Nakanishi and Nagata.
Yeah. There were some nights last year. There were some nights
dude, there were some rough nights last year.
Yeah, there's a reason that this tournament has a reputation. Now, listen, if this whole tournament ends up being anything like these first 2 nights, then I'll sit here all day and be yo, this tournament over delivered. It was really, really good. So many intriguing storylines, but I'm not anticipating that, and I'm not going to hold my breath for that.
Right. And our ability to review these matches was kind of questioned because we had so much hate for the World Tag League.
Who said that?
That was part of in the Reddit thread. You know, they were like, I don't know if you can judge these matches fairly because of your biased take on the World Tag League. But at the end of the day, I want to review what's put in front of me. If the rest of the tour ends up being good, I'll say it's good.
So far it's been good.
So far it's been good, but if what I get is bad or mediocre, that's what I'm gonna say.
Well, last year there was a lot of like little gems. There was some really good matches, right. But at the same time there was a lot of bad matches.
Right.
Like not just like mediocre or whatever. It wasn't even like the the junior tag where it was just like everything was like 3-star special or whatever, 3.5. There was bad. 1 star,
right? I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna be like, I love New Japan, but I'm not gonna be that guy that puts everything over.
We're not gonna circle jerk and sit here and say everything freaking excellent.
Everything is awesome, yeah.
But I do feel like we are pretty, and maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel like we don't exist in a bubble when it comes to our coverage of New Japan. Obviously, we're passionate about what we're covering. And so with that being said, there are times where we will say that and me and you don't always agree, but if there's something that we like and we think it's good, then we're going to point it out. And if there's something that's not good, we're not going to put it over.
Yeah.
Unless they pay us. Then if they pay me,
Harold May,
I'll say whatever the freak they want me to say. I don't care.
CTC, Harold.
Oh yeah, cut the check.
Yes.
But I do think that we're pretty unbiased when it comes to the actual match quality here, and I feel like this tournament has been good so far. If you're a first time World Tag League viewer, maybe don't watch it all. This is a pretty daunting thing, and I don't know if this tournament is, there's people who ask questions like that. I see it every year. How do I get into the G1? How do I get into,
Best of Super
Juniors? And I don't know. I'm sure there's probably there's got to be at least one person out there who's like their first time New Japan listener or watcher, and they're like planning to watch the whole tournament. And if you can do that and you want to dive into the deep end right away, right before Wrestle Kingdom, hats off to you. That's awesome. I know last year I watched the whole World Tag League, and I'd never done that before, and it was daunting.
Yeah.
And the only thing that really kept me going at times was doing the show, because there was terrible nights. Mostly A Block. The A Block was bad. There was still good stuff, but it was bad.
Yeah. As a first time viewer, I would highly recommend just watching the fully produced shows with the commentary.
Well, not only that, but like because it's video on demand and there's going to be people reviewing it and things like that. Maybe cherry pick, maybe watch the stuff. Now, if you can do it and you want to sit through all of it, great. But like, there probably are there. I would just hate for people to like try to jump into this and then they're gonna and then it's daunting. How many nights of the tour are there?
I don't have the exact number, but
it's a lot.
It doesn't end until December 9th.
That's the crazy thing. There's a lot of nights in a short amount of time.
Yeah, it's like only a 2 week.
We're getting like a G1 in like 2 weeks. Like we have to stay up on this thing.
Yeah.
We cannot slip on this. On this one, we cannot slip up. Like this is crazy. But The good news though with the video on demands is like you're not getting the full undercards and all that. You're just getting the tournament matches, so it does make it a little more digestible. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that I am optimistic about the tournament going forward because so far it's been good.
Yeah, same here. All right, we got in one question this week from our buddy Muzza_44. He says, if you could make your own New Japan stable, who would you have in it? Basically, you're allowed a leader, a second in command, a heavyweight tag team, 3 juniors, and a fall guy. Example, my stable would be Sonata, ZSJ, God, Skrull, Bushi, Despy, and Yujiro.
I do feel like we've had a question like this before, but so that's a big stable, by the way. So you get
a leader, a second in command, a heavyweight tag team, 3 juniors, and a fall guy.
The juniors aren't the fall guys?
And so his example, he has...
So there's 8. You get 8 guys, basically.
Right. In his example, he has Sonata as the leader, Zack Sabre as the secondary in command, G.O.D. as his heavyweight tag team. His 3 juniors are Skrull, Bushi, and Desperado, and his fall guy is Yujiro.
Okay, I'm going to take Kenny Omega, Cody, the Bucks, Chase Owens, Hangman Page, Marty Skrull, the Elite. The Elite. Break it down.
But you know what? What's funny? It's funny you said that, because honestly, when I read that question, my mind literally went to the Elite. Like, I love the Elite guys so much. Like, that would be my stable.
Oh my god! I want Inoki.
Oh my gosh.
Seiji Sagakuchi.
I don't even know who that is.
Masa Saito. I don't know. So let's do this draft style. So who's gonna be the leader of your? Let's do it this way. Whoever's the leader of yours you'll get a guy and then I'll get a guy.
Okay. Well then
and I'll let you have first pick because I don't want it.
Okay. Well, I'm taking Omega first.
Okay. The leader of my faction is going to be Tanahashi. Okay.
So now we need a secondary in command. Second in command.
I have to look at the New Japan roster, who works for this company.
You know what? I think I'll go with Ibushi.
Okay. Oh dang! I think that's who I was gonna take. Oh crap! There's so much pressure. I wish Shibata was still wrestling.
Hey, that man said he's coming back.
That's what he says. So you get a heavyweight, a second in command, a tag team,
a heavyweight tag team, 3 juniors, and a fall guy.
Okay. My second in command is going to be Toa Hanare.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Building up the new guy. Mm-hmm. All right. Then for the heavyweight tag team, I think I'll go. I'll go with Evil and Sonata as my heavyweight tag team.
So you've got the Golden Lovers and then Evil and Sonata.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dang, this is so tough. I don't know, because it's so hard, because I'm such an analytical person. Like immediately I'm like, well, I should take the Bucks, but that's such a weird stable now. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll take the Young Bucks.
Okay.
I don't want the Young Bucks.
don't take them then.
I don't know who I want. It's the story of my life. Oh man. Freaking A. Who are tag teams in New Japan?
Ishii and Yano.
Nah.
Tenkozy.
No.
Nagata and Nakanishi. Hangman Page and Yujiro. Super Strong Team.
You know what? Yeah. Let's do that. Give me Elgin and give me Jeff Cobb.
Okay.
That's a good team.
And now for 3 juniors.
You get a junior, then I get a junior, then you get a junior, then I get a junior. We'll do it that way.
Okay. So my first junior, I'll take Shingo.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna take Will Ospreay.
I did think about that, but I don't know, for whatever reason I'm feeling Shingo.
I want Kushida.
Okay. I'll take Osprey for my second one then.
I want Hiromu.
Okay. Last junior. For the last junior, think I'm gonna go with Marty Skrull.
I want Ishimori.
Oh, that's a good pick.
So let's go over. Okay, now we just have a fall guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have...
So I have Omega, Ibushi, Evil, Sonata, Skrull, Shingo, and Osprey.
And I've got the Ace, Toa Hinare, Super Strong Team, and Kushida, Ishimori, and Hiromu. My God, it's a stacked.
Yeah.
Why do we have 3 juniors? So many juniors.
Yeah. Well, I guess one to be junior champ and one to be junior tag champs.
Gotcha. So then we each who's gonna be your fall guy?
For my fall guy, I'm gonna take Juice Robinson.
And I gotta take the best in the biz, the crown jewel himself.
I was
Chase Owens.
I was gonna take Chase, but I was like, no, I can't do that to you. I know how much you love Chase.
I take ZSJ. You know what? I probably should have done a Zack Sabre stable. It probably would have been awesome.
Sabre Goon.
I would have done my own Zack Sabre stable. It would have been awesome.
The Stretch Him stable.
Yeah. An Inokiism stable.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that wraps it up for the questions. So now we're gonna jump into the news.
We need to do a fan poll. Who has the better stable?
We should.
My stable will kill your stable.
Match up the card, create the cards. So who would you put as your junior team?
I would probably do. I was thinking making like Kushida my like junior ace, but I bet you Ishimori and Kushida would be an incredible tag team, and then maybe Hiromu is my ace.
Okay, I'm doing Skrull and Osprey as my tag team, and Shingo as my ace.
Okay. I mean, Hiromu's gonna fuck up. Hiromu kill him, but whatever.
I don't know, man. That pumping bomber, man.
Yeah. Yep. So, let's hit the news here.
Yeah, so Wrestle Kingdom 13 in the Tokyo Dome has been selling seats fast. The Royal seats, Arena A, Arena B, and the balcony stand are all currently sold out. Also, New Year's Dash the next day in Corkin, there are only a few standing tickets left for New Year's Dash. So if you want your tickets for Wrestle Kingdom 13 or New Year's Dash, you better hop on it because the tickets are hot.
I heard that they are going to be checking the names that are printed on the tickets for the New Year's Dash this year, which is they haven't done that in the past, but it's such a hot ticket, and those tickets are so hard to get. They like don't want people scalping them. So yeah, like your name's going to be printed on the ticket this year, which is crazy.
Yeah. The free match of the week comes from World Tag League 2016 from the B block that year. It was Kazuchika Okada and Yoshihashi taking on Kenny Omega and Chase Owens.
Back when Kenny used to be on the tours to build up his matches for Wrestle Kingdom.
Dang. Back when we had, the top stars in the tournament.
Yeah.
Also up on New Japan World, Part 4 of California Dreaming, the documentary on Shibata with the English translation is up. Also, our friends over at Voices of Wrestling, our good old buddy Rich Craich, who we got to meet at All In, the Voices of Wrestling team, they're accepting submissions for the Voices of Wrestling New Japan Year-in Review ebook. There's a post about it on Reddit, in the New Japan Reddit, and on their Twitter, kind of giving you more detail of what they're looking for, but they're accepting submissions from anybody. just write a good piece, and this will be a part of this year-end ebook. They've done it the last few years now. One of the best New Japan materials that come out ends up being a lot of match reviews, focus reviews on different characters and storylines. It's a really great thing. You can also download all the previous year's ebooks. There's a link.
You gonna submit?
I was thinking about it.
Better.
I just don't know what to write about.
Writing ass writer don't want to write.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny because, One Nation Radio, Rich Latta and James Boyd, Rich raps the intro song for Keepin It Strong Style. He also raps his intro for One Nation Radio on Social Suplex. But they also have One Nation Radio that they do on Lords of Pain radio network. And it's just a beat. Rich is not rapping for that intro. And so James is like, this rapping ass rapper don't want to rap. So yeah, me, writer, don't want to write. But yeah, I got to think of something to write about and get a submission so we can have Keeping It Strong Style represented in this year in review.
Well, the good news, I just finished my 4th canteen of water, which puts me at a gallon. So, like I said earlier in the show, you can only control what you can control. And I'm controlling my hydration, so I've achieved that. I just want to throw it out there. It's personal success, man.
Yeah, man.
But no, you absolutely need to write. Like, I don't write, guys. I guess I could, but I don't have a passion for it. It's not what I do. But Jeremy's been writing for years. So, I mean, you got to write something.
Yeah, I need a topic. I need to catch a vision for something.
Inokiism.
How Inokiism can change
the Western expansion and how it's killing New Japan. No, you need to write about Harold Mai
and how he's
and like that whole opening segment at
the Dominion.
Yeah, I bet you a bunch of people are gonna be writing about like the 2 out of 3 falls match and stuff like that. No, you need to write about Harold.
I need to write about like Chase Owens.
Oh yes, yeah.
I should write like the underdogs of 2018.
The unsung heroes.
Yeah. But yeah, so other news story. New Japan was featured in a special on CNN called True Tokyo, where CNN's Core Wire, he's trying to learn more about the Japanese side of his family. So, he goes to some New Japan shows, meets up with Harold and Kenny, and talks about how important New Japan is to the culture of Japan and how he's becoming a fan of the product. Tama Tonga on Twitter again. This time he says he's looking for a hype man for Bullet Club.
Absolutely, because they tried Tangaloa out in that spot, and it did not take.
Yeah.
Remember when he was doing all those promos during the G1, and they sucked.
Yeah. So yeah, looking for a mouthpiece for the Bullet Club.
They got like 1 million members, and they don't have one
a guy that could talk.
One dude that can talk.
Oh man.
They got Gato. Like I don't know.
Well, I guess Gato's talking for Switchblade only. I guess.
Why can't Tama do the? Tama can talk. Like,
right.
What is he talking about?
He's the one that can talk out of all of them.
Talking as
promo cutter don't want to cut promo. Yeah. Oh man. So there's a lot of changes going on with the access situation with the commentary team. We know last week in the news we mentioned that JR was only going to be on for the rest of this year and then was not going to be on for next year. Well, some stuff has changed up. Now Jim Ross and Josh Barnett will be gone after the next set of tapings. They're doing voiceovers for shows this week, which will be the last new shows of the year. So they're out at this point. There are some conflicting stories on the reasons why, but obviously it's either a New Japan decision or an Access decision on why this is being done. This was reported in Wrestling Observer newsletter, and Dave also kind of threw out some, potential options of what they could be doing in the future. It looks like this, team of JR and Josh Barnett's done.
Well, I'm ready to go whenever they give me the call, brother.
Got the Keeping It Strong Style team on Access. But But I mean,
and then we'll be the guys that the fans complain about who suck so bad. Why can't they have Kevin Kelly? You know, they got this. They got the young boy. He freaking sucks.
If only they could have Kevin Kelly. And then you have that one show where it's like Kevin Kelly and you, and like young boy was so much better when he had Kevin Kelly guiding him. But yeah, obviously, you know, it would make sense to just use Kevin Kelly and Rocky Romero, Don Callis, whoever. Yeah, but so yeah,
Poffo, whoever.
Oh no. So there's a lot of moving behind the scenes on that whole Access deal and JR and Barnett being dropped from that. So yeah, you can read up on that full story in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and you know, keep your eyes out on what's happening with that commentary team. And also, speaking of JR, he suffered a brutal fall a couple of days ago and suffered some brutal facial injuries. He fell on concrete, apparently walking down, I think he was walking down steps or something, like he missed a step and ended up eating concrete, and looks pretty bad. Have you seen that picture of JR? Yeah.
It looks like he went, he was in a segment with Nia Jax. And the punch actually connected.
Yeah, unlike the other punches in pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't look good for JR. You know, hopefully he has easy recovery. Well wishes out to you, Jim. Next up, our good old pal Cody has outright said that he wants to work from New Japan more in 2019. And he's already said that he wants to do the G1 next year. So this also comes from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And, clearly we're all on elite watch on what the heck is happening with this stable in 2019. But, clearly Cody wants to wrestle in New Japan. They love Hangman Page. So I'm wondering, are we going to get, some more New Japan dates from these guys?
Well, last year, Cody had flat out said that he wasn't going to be in the G1, but that he was planning on being in it this year. And I kind of took that with a grain of salt, but I mean, it's not the first time that he's said this sort of thing, so.
Yeah, once again, we all got to be on the lookout for what's happening with these guys. We have the first match announced for the February 19th multi-promotional Sumo Hall show. It's going to be Mil Mascaras and Dos Caras taking on Kaz Hayashi and Nosawa.
They're still wrestling?
I was as surprised as that when I read this.
Why? I mean, whatever. I don't know. Like, you're doing a super show. Why are they bringing in Mil?
Mil Mascaras, he was one of the big stars of the original 1979 show. This is based on. And Mascaras is one of Giant Baba's historical biggest stars. And
yeah, they were big stars in the 70s.
Yeah. Because he was a star for Baba, it's a Baba Memorial show.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
They want to use him that, but I guess we'll see what happens. Dave was saying, maybe Mascaras should have just been there to accept an award instead of having a match, but I guess we'll see what happens. NHK, one of the major TV networks in Japan, is doing a documentary on November 19th on top people in different lines of work. And one of the subjects is LIJ leader Tetsuya Naito. Taka Michinoku, I don't remember if we mentioned this last week or not, but
we did not discuss it.
Taka was caught having an affair for the past 8 years.
8 years, dude.
And it finally went public. And as we mentioned in the past on the show, the Japanese culture, they are very serious on, affairs like that. And it's a big cultural deal there.
Yep.
So K-Dojo, which is Taka's own promotion, has come out and announced that Taka has been removed from the board of directors. And he would be working a whole year without pay.
Yep.
But clearly he's still going to be getting that New Japan paycheck.
Yeah.
As far as contract watch, we need to add SCU, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian to the list. These guys have just recently turned down Ring of Honor deals for 2019.
Really? Saying
that they just haven't made a decision on what they want to do for next year.
What is going on? Bro, we're going to go to a New Japan Ring of Honor MSG show that's going to be like Tanahashi versus like Brian Malonis. And Rhett Titus versus Okada.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Ishii versus Cheeseburger.
Yeah, my God.
Oh my gosh.
Kenny Omega's gonna defend the IWGP title against Bully Ray. Like,
oh my God.
What is happening?
I mean, these guys, they know their worth, and they're
starting a company, bro.
You think so?
They're doing something, bro. This doesn't make sense. Yo, it's gonna be funny. All those guys that were so adamant that All In was produced and paid for and everything by Ring of Honor, are gonna look so stupid when, like, in actuality, that was like the start of these guys like branching off and doing their own thing, like,
Right. I mean, there's rumors of them doing their own thing. Potentially, maybe Kaz and Daniels, maybe they want to get into New Japan. Maybe they want to try and get into WWE, NXT, who knows? But speaking of them trying to go somewhere, Being the Elite episode 126 came out today. The episode was entitled Coaches, and there was the ending scene. They had the Triple H come into the Elite locker room. He laid out some of the referees and people that were in there, and he left 2 bags for Daniels and Kazarian. Daniels and Kazarian come in and they open up. They're like, he's like, Kaz, where'd you get these bags from? Did some fans give us these gifts? And he's like, no, I don't know where these came from. They open it and there's a note in there from Triple H, and it was like, I forgot what it said. It was like something about them like being coaches at the Performance Center, because there's a story that came out with Triple H saying like they're hiring older wrestlers so they can be coaches. Yeah. And there was like a coach whistle and all this stuff in there. So playing up on that Triple H is coming after those guys to be coaches. So that was pretty funny. Also, there was a hilarious scene with Hangman Page and Yujiro Takahashi, getting ready for World Tag League, and Yujiro's like, Hangman, what's up with this Elite bullshit? He's like, am I Bullet Club or I'm Elite? Like, he's like, what's going on? And Hangman's like, I'm sorry. And we all thought they would, book you with the Tongans. But like, he's like, don't worry, we got your back. And he's like, he's like, Young Bucks, all those guys, like, I wouldn't trust those guys, Hangman. And then Hangman looks down on his notepad of like all the notes of like Cody and Kenny got from Triple H.
Yeah, don't trust them. Although you're the guy that murdered someone this past year, don't trust them.
Also, the funny thing with SCU, where like Christopher Daniels is like totally like killing their gimmick, and he loved the city that they were in, and they were like, "What the hell is he doing? What is wrong with him?" So yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, overall, Cody. Cody is still spouting out the WWE like trivia and facts, and
is he?
Yes, and he was like, Marty called him and was like, can you come to my party on January 1st? Those douchebags, the Young Bucks, they turned me down. He's like, but me and you, Cody, we're best friends. Are you gonna be at the party, Marty? And he's like just spouting off like all these like WWE facts, and he's like, Cody, what? That's great. Why are you telling me all this stuff? Like, are you coming to my party or not? And then there was a scene with Cody and Flip Gordon, and Cody's like, Flip, he's like, Gordon, why aren't you returning our calls? Blah, 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 blah. Like, just saying off all these WWE stuff, and like calls him a mark, and then Flip like super kicks him. He's like, I think you're the one that's a mark. And now Cody's doing the gimmick on Twitter now too, where he'll retweet stuff and he'll spout off like, Pete Dunne is the UK champion, and Nigel McGuinness and blah blah are the commentators for NXT UK, and he's doing all these like random WWE facts. It's hilarious. So yeah, so that wraps up the news this week. Next week we'll be back with more World Tag League coverage, and be on the lookout because next week, it's the greatest time of the year. You're going to get 2 episodes of Keeping It Strong Style next week. We will have our regular Tuesday episode where we'll give you some World Tag League coverage. And then we will do a bonus episode later in the week announcing our nominees and categories for the second annual Keepin It Strong Style Year in Awards.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be, we did this last year, was our first one. We had a bonus episode on that, and we'll have a bonus episode again, letting you guys know all the categories, who's the nominee in each category, kind of who we're feeling, who we're probably going to be voting for. And then we'll be dropping that voting link all over the place in Reddit, Facebook, Twitter. So be on the lookout for that. Get ready to get your votes in. 2 episodes of Keeping It Strong Style next week. More World Tag League coverage. Make sure you connect with us on social media. On Twitter, I am at Jeremy L. Donovan. The show is at KI Strong Style. You can follow us also at Social Suplex. On Facebook, we're facebook.com/Social Suplex. We also have the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Wrestling Squared Circle. On Reddit, I am the Pro Black Guy. Josh is Keeping It Strong Style. You can email me, Jeremy, at socialsuplex.com if you have any questions for the show or want to be involved with Social Suplex in any way. Check out all the other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. One Nation Radio, hosted by Rich Latta and James Boyd. Like I mentioned earlier, I was on One Nation Radio that was uploaded today. We did a post-Survivor Series show. Check that out. We have the Ricky and Clive show from Scotland, The Outsider's Edge featuring Rance, Carl, and Kyle, and also our podcast dedicated to independent wrestling, Grown Men Watch This Shit, hosted by Jeremy Tate and Chris Bryan. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating and review, and until next time, goodbye and good night. Bang.
Thank you for listening to Keepin' It Strong Style. We'll see you next time.